Formula E's testing schedule has been affected by the ongoing floods in Spain. And what I'm going to do in this video is lay out what's expected for the week ahead, and then what we can expect from Formula E testing when it fires off, because it's something that is going to have to happen. So firstly, what's happening? Well, right now, Formula E have confirmed that the practice and, pre-season testing is moving from Circuit Ricardo Tormo in Valencia, a circuit which has been damaged by the flooding, as Valencia is part of the region that's been worst affected by the heavy rains that Spain's been affected by recently, to Jarama, which is a former F1 track located about 30 kilometers, 20 miles north of Madrid. Formerly an F1 track designed by Hugenholtz. This is the person who, according of Zandvoort, is named after the designer of Suzuka, Hugenholtz, which reminds people of how F1's decided that it's going to go to a street track in Madrid instead of upgrading an existing circuit in Madrid to grade 1 I'm getting sidetracked by that one. But Jarama is a track that you might have seen before. It's in the original Race Driver grid, for example. You might see some mods around for Assetto Corsa. I found one here for R-Factor 2. In terms of things that it's known for, this year it's hosted European truck racing as well as F4 in Spain. And yeah, in the past it hosted F1, it's hosted touring cars, it's hosted GT, it's hosted motorcycles as well. Which, we've also heard the MotoGP is no longer going to be going to Tormo as well, after some drivers were saying they'd boycott the event if it was going to go ahead. But before I get into the testing itself proper, because the schedule itself should be confirmed in the coming days, I do want to say I've spent quite a bit of time in that region of Spain, and I know people who are out that way. And reading the reports, it's harrowing. We have to look after this planet, and we have to do better by it. I remember seeing something similar when Rally Australia was cancelled due to the wildfires in 2019, which is 5 years ago now. It's nearly 5 years ago that the event was cancelled. And yeah, I remember thinking at the time, this might be something that we need to get ready for happening more often. It's something I said again when the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix was cancelled due to flooding at Imola. It's just something that we really need to be mindful of. In terms of the testing itself, what we can expect is 4 days of running, Tuesday through Friday. Were to expect that the women's test, which Formula E in their statement, which I'll link down below, described as the first ever, although they did do some kind of test for women-only drivers before with Formula E. We can expect the running to happen over the course of the test, with all of the teams present and taking part in it, which will be great to see, especially because there are some things to look out for in terms of what we can expect on track. Firstly, what we could expect is some teething troubles for the new Gen 3 Evo car that is new for 2025. Well, 2024-25, season 11, because Formula E is a bit fancy like that. But it's supposed to be lightning quick. It's supposed to be even faster than the regular Gen 3. There are some real bold claims being made about its power, about its output, about its performance. We'll just have to wait to see on track whether or not that is the real deal. But I wouldn't expect every team to have it running perfectly out the box. Expect maybe a few breakdowns to happen. But do expect there to be a lot of stats about how it could accelerate faster than an F1 car and stuff like that. Expect that there'll be a lot of focus on the women drivers test, which has a real who's who of big name racers, people who are on the ascendancy. So people like youngsters like Abby Pulling, for example, or established drivers, Jamie Chadwick, Bajka Visser, Tatiana Calderon. People that you've seen from F1 Academy. So I've mentioned Abby Pulling, but there's also like Bianca Bustamante, Marta Garcia. We have so many different names throughout motorsport taking part in that test. And in addition to that, it is where we'll start to see some new liveries and new driver lineups for Formula E itself ahead of the 2024-25 season. For example, did you know that we are going to see a renaming for Neo? They're a Porsche powertrain now, and they're called the Kiro Race Company. It's going to be quite a change. I don't think they've actually technically announced their drivers, or at least Wikipedia is not stating that that they've announced their drivers yet. I'll have to check that, and then if I'm wrong, I'll put something in the comments or the description section for this video. But yeah, we can expect to see some new teams in the eyes of something like Lola Yamaha, which is the Apt team, who have a new driver to Formula E in Zane Maloney, whilst also having Lucas de Grassi retained. Taylor Barnard is stepping up full-time with McLaren alongside Sam Bird. Jake Hughes has gone over to Maserati. Pascal Wehrlein will be running the number 1 as the reigning champion. And in addition to that, the other changes that we could talk about, for example, Nato replacing Sasha Fenestraz, and then Muller replacing Nato at Andretti. Yeah, they're gonna be quite a few changes. But overall, let me know your thoughts and predictions in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. I'll be doing a review for this at some point, probably next weekend. Until then, it's bye-bye for now.